What is going on? Welcome to No Chill Promos. How y'all doing? Hope having a blessed Wednesday for watching this. Before I get started with today's video on who's easily, in my opinion, best booker in 2024. Just gotta do a quick shout out to all subscribers to the channel and to the followers. Back to I could have swore it's at 324, but I'm now at 323. And it's all good, right? Because I want to try to hit 350 before the year's out. There's still enough time to do so, right? So hopefully, make that happen. If not, then it's all good. No worries. We'll get there when we get there, right? But without further ado, let's get into it. Because I was gonna try to upload yesterday, but I didn't have enough time to. I was busy. Had a lot of work to do. I'll try to catch up today. I'm doing 2 uploads, starting with this one. So let's get into it. Now, there are only really 2 viable contenders for Best Booker of the Year, right? But I had to give it to Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, right? And there's a few reasons as to why he deserves the Best Booker of the Year, right? Even though he made some decisions that pissed me off, like keeping the belt on Roxanne Perez, but don't worry, I have a video for her where I go into detail as to why I can't stand her, right? And as it was requested for me to go in on her, right? But that'll be the next video I do. This is about Shawn Michaels, and that's him being a competent booker down at NXT. All right, start off. We have to look at his women's division. Now, this right here, right? This is the division that you could be proud of. All right, he has, in my opinion, the best women's division on the planet. Not even close. And I'm like, I'll take this women's division over the main roster division any day of the week. All right, and as much as I love Naomi, Bianca, Io, Kyrie, Bailey, to name a few, there are not that many. Not that many on the main roster that I really give 2 fucks about. But just take a look at some of the names that really stick out on this roster. Right, you got Julia, who I do miss, her being in Stardom or Mario, but it is what it is. All right, you got Stephanie Vakir, her fine ass. All right, you got Soruka, who I don't understand why they haven't put the belt on her. Right? I don't get it. But that's for another conversation. You got Miss Parker, Jada Parker, her fine ass. You got Lola Vice, that Muy Caliente, her fine ass. Alright. You got Lash Legend, her fine ass. Alright, you got Carmen Petrovic, her fine ass. You see the common trend here is that all these women are beautiful. Now, some may be sexier than others, but that's life, and I know they're bringing in Jordan Grace, come next year. And best believe they're probably going to put the belt on her. If Shawn doesn't, Triple H, you damn sure will. Right? Like, that's his type, 110%. I'm not going to name all of them, but, they got people like Kalani Jordan, Ariana Grace, Adriana Rizzo, Danny Palmer, Brinley Reese, Gigi Dolan, JC Jane. You know what I mean? Like, it's stacked. All right, that women's division is stacked. Oh, and Zarya. I don't know fuck all about her, but apparently she's like an Australian Brock Lesnar, some shit like that. For what I've been told. All right, I don't fucking know. I've been watching since the CW premiere. All right, so I don't know. I'll take their word for it. Regardless, this is easily the best women's division right now in wrestling. Right, and I can 110% say that with confidence and conviction. Right, I believe in it. All right. As far as the men, there's some talent. It's kind of lacking. For what I've seen or and hearing this year. I mean, who they got besides whoop that trick? Whoop that trick. Yeah, whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. I like it. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, Trick Williams. He's doing his thing as the NXT World Champion, as he should. Right, but it's a matter of time before he gets called. Like, who else? You got the young OG, Javon Evans, who, like, is he like the youngest there? You know, but like his potential is crazy. All right, especially how good he is. He's only gonna get better as he gets older. All right, gets more seasoned. You know what I mean? He's in the right place to do it. Like, imagine him in AEW, like getting caught up with all that goofy high flying shit that they do, like fucking Ricochet. We're like, oh, yeah, I seen that shit. He said, like, oh, there's no AEW without me, and the shit that we did with Ospreay down in fucking Dragon's Gate, bruv. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck about the matches you had in Dragon's Gate and PWG. Like, tell you that right the fuck now, man. They got Lexus King, who I like. I've always liked him. First when I seen him as Brian Pillman Jr. in AEW. Like, I seen this dude, I'm like, he has potential. Besides the fact that he's the son of, you know, the late, great Flying Brian, Loose Cannon himself, Brian Pillman. They got the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo, right? Who, if I'm not mistaken, he's still the current North American champion, and I predicted this months ago. The first video that really got views, like it was like over 2K views on this channel, was how Obafemi should be undefeated in NXT, and I'll elaborate more on that here in a bit, right? But I said in that video that the only two people that I could see beating Obafemi, handing him his first loss in NXT, because I know how his company operates. You know, it would either be Trick Williams or Tony D'Angelo. Come to find out, it's Tony D'Angelo. Called that shit. I called that shit back in May. I believe, like in either May or June. Yeah, I believe it was in May. I did that video. Called that shit down to a fucking T. But I like Tony D'Angelo. It's one of my favorites down there. Who else they got? Oh, my favorite tag team, Hank and Tank, right? Or I like to call them Seth Rogen and James Franco. All right. Well, now that I think about it, they're more like Seth Rogen and Kevin James. You know, Kevin James from what's that show? King of Queens. That shit. Yeah, whatever. That or I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. That dude, right? That Kevin. Right. That's what these two remind me of. Hilarious. These guys get it. All right. More personality than any ring work. All right. And that's what's going to carry you in this company in the long run. And you got other guys like Charlie Dempsey, who's Regal's kid. Wesley, he's been doing his thing in NXT. Like, who else? Nathan Frazier. With that, the speed on that dude is insane. All right. That dude's fast as shit. That's like, okay, I can say this right now. Seth Rollins should be proud of him, like being his protege. All right, because he's good. He is good in that ring. I will say that. And I don't want to name everybody, but last but not least, you know, and I did this for a reason, is my nigga, the ruler of NXT, Obafemi. All right, this guy, he's one of my favorites in the WWE right now. And like I stated in my video, that Obafemi should have been undefeated here in NXT. He got beat by Tony D'Angelo. You know, like, they can't help themselves. Like, if I'm not mistaken, the only person that was undefeated here in NXT was Asuka. She's the only one that was undefeated. You know, they could have had something with Obafemi. So, like, just imagine how better it would have been. All right, he's still North American champion. Apparently, he won the the Iron Survivor match or some shit like that. So now he's number one contender to Trick Williams' title. Right, so he's heading into it. He's still North American champion. Right, and I said this in the video. Like, he looks at Trick Williams. He's like, "I'm the head nigga in charge. I'm coming to take your championship." And he does it, right? And now he's a dual champion, and he's undefeated. That'll make Obafemi look like such a fucking beast. You know, I'm just saying. But we didn't get that. But hopefully he still beats Trick Williams. You know what I mean? Even though, like, it does suck. I'm not gonna lie, because Trick has been champion like that long again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want him to have like another short reign. But I'm like, at the same time, I'm like I go off of you know, believability. You know what I mean? Like, you look at someone in Obafemi, he looks like a machine. Like he could just, like he could whoop the average dude's ass, right? Like that's not a dude you want to fucking like fuck around with. You know what I mean? Like fuck around and find out the hard way. You know what I mean? So Obafemi would be the ideal champion to have in your company. So like I have no problems with him being Trick Williams for the NXT World Championship. Sorry, not sorry. Like sorry, Trick. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up getting called up after the fact. That's the way I can see it going down, but we shall see. Right, so he has some good talent in the men's division as well. So you look at both the men's and the women's divisions, lots of talent that he has to work with. Right, and not only that, but he tries to come up with characters and try to tell stories with these people. Like just look at Ridge Holland, for instance. All right, Triple H said fuck all of them after the whole incident with him breaking Big E's neck, which is unfortunate, and the spot should never happen in the first place. Shawn says, "Hey, bring him to NXT. I'll do something with him." He completely dismantles Chase U University, looks him like a monster heel. All right, and that's the most they've done with Ridge Holland in his entire career here in the WWE. All right, and I got a video that I plan on doing for Ridge Holland. Like I know the perfect gimmick to give to Ridge Holland. I'm like, why they haven't give this man this gimmick? Or they kind of did before, but they could. There's so much that they could do with Ridge Holland, all right, that they haven't done yet. But that'll be for another video, all right. But it's the fact that at least Shawn attempted to tell a story, try to redeem Ridge Holland. All right, that's what a good booker would do. You look at, it's not confidence, it's all ego. It's not confidence, it's all ego. Mr. All Ego Ethan Page. And I believe Shawn came out and he said, like, Ethan, you come across as a guy that never really had a fair chance. Right? And what does he do? He puts the belt on him. Right? And that's another video I did. I said that Ethan Page was a future world champion. And I guess you could count NXT, the World Championship, as a world title, I guess. I don't fucking know. I do. All right. To a lesser extent, but, it should be recognized as a world title. Fucking why not? There's so many fucking titles around in these companies as it is. So, but regardless, he's a champion. All right. And I said that in the video, like, this dude, he has the tools to be a champion. Like, at best, a transitional champion, but a champion nonetheless. Right? Like, he could talk, he's in arguably the best shape of his career, or he could work in the ring. You know what I mean? What the fuck more do you want? And I see Shawn trying to tell his stories with people like Brooks Jensen, who I can tell you, most people won't give two fucks about Brooks Jensen. Especially you call him up in the main roster, you're gonna be like, who the fuck is this jobber? Like, why should I care? And Eddie Tork, right? Like, and for me, like, I already did a video about Brooks Jensen and like gimmick that he could be doing, right? And I was supposed to do a video about Eddie Thorpe, but I never got around to it, about a gimmick that they could do with Eddie. But it's the fact that he's trying to tell a story with Eddie Thorpe tells you all you need to know about Shawn as a booker, all right? Like, in my opinion, he has a better eye for talent than Triple H. That's for damn sure, all right? Like, I have more trust in Shawn Michaels than Triple H as a booker, all right? It's not even fucking close, all right? Based off the work that I've seen Shawn do here in NXT. Okay? Not to mention, don't forget, there was a point to where in NXT we had Trick Williams, Obafemi, and Kalani Jordan as champions at one time in this company. And then I like to believe that Triple H, he comes down, he says like, "Hey Shawn, it's looking a little dark down here in NXT, if you know what I mean. Need to lighten things up." And then gives the belt to Ethan Page. All right, and then he realizes that, yeah, Ethan, I want to give you your moment, but we gotta get back to Trick. All right, like, he's our guy right now. Sorry, not sorry. All right, but hey, at least Shawn isn't afraid to drop the belt, to someone else. Unlike a certain big nose freak on the main roster, like, we have to keep the belt on Cody. For fucking what? Why? Right? That's my question. Why? How am I supposed to take people like Kevin Owens seriously, where every time he faces Cody Rhodes, he fucking loses? Right? It's too fucking predictable. Like, that's why I didn't have a problem with Ethan Page winning, at whatever fucking pay-per-view it was, Like, he won, it was some shock value. People are like, oh shit, he's like, he actually won. He's like, I didn't believe it, I didn't see it coming. So, and that's the reaction that you want, right? Like, I don't want this shit to be fucking predictable. Like, I shouldn't be able to call a fucking pay-per-view or PLE from like the first match to the main event down to a fucking T. Like, I hate it, right? I hate the fact that it's fucking predictable, right? So I can appreciate Shawn for trying to at least attempting to shake things up a bit. Now, I wish he would do that in the fucking women's division, because that's the only real criticism that I have towards NXT, is I can't fucking stand Roxanne as the NXT Women's Champion. I can't do it. Right? I can't fucking do it. Alright, but that'll be it for the next video. Right? And one last thing that I want to bring up before I head out, right, is the collaboration with TNA. Even though it could have been executed better, because I want to see like a full-on invasion. You know what I mean? TNA versus NXT. And that ends in the pay-per-view. That's all I wanted to see, but we didn't get that, but that's okay. I will say they did a better job than AEW. That's for damn sure. Because AEW did them so wrong, man. They didn't bother to bring not one TNA wrestler over to AEW. No Dynamite, no Collision, no Rampage, none of that shit. Right, you know what happened? They said that, hey, we're gonna have Kenny Omega. He comes in, he's gonna beat your champion. Who is it? Fucking Rich Swann. Right, yeah, beat him. He becomes a TNA champion. He holds it for till he feels like dropping it, and he drops it to fucking Christian. So he doesn't even drop it back to a fucking TNA wrestler. He drops it to an AEW talent. Where they had to rely on Christian to drop it to Perk Alexander. That's what happened. Right? It's just it was so disrespectful. But I still see people try to defend it, like, oh, because of AEW, TNA had record ratings. And I'm like, for a very, very brief time. Right? But tell me, why is it that they've never done business since? All right? Because under Scott D'Amore at the time, he knew that he got fucked. Right? He knew that was some bullshit. Alright, and he never did business since, and I don't fucking blame him, man. Fuck that. But back to NXT. Because of Shawn Michaels, we've seen say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Dun, dun, and NXT. That was crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. And it was crazy to the fact that it was one of the most, I still believe it was the most viral fucking like wrestling clips of this year. That's how crazy it was, right? And that's how over Joe Hendry is, right? So it was crazy to see him in NXT, and I'm still not a fan of him losing to Ethan Page, for the NXT World Championship. But he bounced back, and now hopefully he'll be the champion come Genesis. But it's the fact that we got to see talents like Rosemary in NXT, even though they dropped the fuck out of Rosemary. Like, she damn near lost all of her matches. It's kind of crazy now that I think about it. Like, I believe on commentary they were talking about how Rosemary was pretty much like, she wasn't pinned in TNA like up until Final Resolution, from my understanding. But in NXT, that's where she took all her losses. That's for damn sure. We got to see your boy Hammer, Alexander Hammerstone, in NXT. That was also crazy. I was like, yo, like him versus Obafemi? That was crazy to see. Right? I enjoyed that matchup. Right? And it sucks that we didn't get to see people like Perk Alexander or Moose in NXT, but it is what it is. Like, I don't know the specifics behind it, but hey, everything happens for a reason, so they say. But I think that I give him enough reasons, and to me, Shawn Michaels has done enough this year to be the best booker in 2024, right? And one last thing I want to say is that Shawn Michaels will forever, and I do mean this, will forever be a better wrestler and a better booker than Triple H, right? There is a reason why Triple H was Shawn Michaels' lackey in the 90s. I'm just saying. There's a reason why Triple H was the DD for the Clique. Now, while everybody was getting fucked up in bars, he was the one that had to drive everybody home. He was that square. You know, they couldn't find somebody else where everybody in the Clique was getting fucked up and just get like a random ass jobber to take them back to their rooms. Like, nah, they chose Triple H to do so. And there's a reason why Triple H had to take all that heat backstage after the curtain call incident. But Shawn said, ain't no fucking way. Sorry, Hunter. It ain't gonna be me. Right? But Shawn will forever be better than Triple H. And in my opinion, he should be the head booker on the main roster. You get fucking NXT to CM Punk, sure, why the fuck not? So he can have fun with fucking Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez for all I fucking care. Or fucking Zeta Steel whenever she gets called up. I don't fucking care. But Shawn should be the head booker and on the main roster. Alright, just imagine of how much better fucking the WWE would be. And I know like he rehashes shit from like his career as well. Like every fucking booker does, man, at this point. You know what I mean? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just how it is. You know what I mean? So it's not a really big deal in my opinion. You know, if it hits, it hits. If it lands, it lands. That's how I look at it. Alright, but I think the WWE would be in a better place if he was in charge. That's just my opinion. And I'd like to give honorable mention to the runner-up, who is Rossi Ogawa. Alright, he was the booker in Mario Code. Where he was a booker in Stardom. I believe he owned Stardom. And then, you know, they're having the like consolidation of companies in Japan. He said, fuck that. I'm out of here. And I know there was some controversy with Rossi as well, but I know the customs over there in Japan are different from America, obviously. He says, fuck it. Let me start my own company in Mario, and kills it over there. So this man kills it in 2 different companies within the same year. Right? I don't know any other booker that can say that. Right? So and I've never seen a bad show under Rossi, under his vision and his creative. Not one. Right? So he gets honorable mention. You know what I mean? I just think Shawn, he did if it wasn't, especially with the NXT collaboration, he did more this year than Rossi did. You know, I have to say, sorry, not sorry, but Rossi would be number 2. And yeah, and that's it. So let me know who you guys feel is the best booker in 2024. All right, if you think it's Shawn Michaels, let me know. Or if you think it's somebody else, put that shit in the comment section. Like, the whole reason I'm doing these videos because I want to see who you guys feel is the best or the worst. And how 2024 is. So like, I want to hear from you guys. I'm letting you guys know who I feel is, who those individuals are. You know what I mean? But I want to hear from you guys as well. Right? Put that shit in the comment section. But love it, hate it, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's all the same to me. I just want to see the engagement and the feedback from you guys. Right? Next video will be the request. I gotta remember, I'll look up his username before I make the video, but it was a request to go in on Roxanne Perez, right? And I have just the award to give to her, and that'll be the next video I do. I'll try to get that up probably tonight, right? Or if not, yeah, probably tonight. I'll knock that out. All right, but yeah, wishing love you guys this time. So be safe, be blessed, take care of yourself, protect you and yours, your loved ones, because it's a crazy world we live in, but most importantly, trust in God. I'm out of here. Till next time, adios.